we left the lands of the captivity, we were en route to the promised land to establish the long-awaited kingdom of Yah. And when we aligned ourselves, when Israel aligned herself with her purpose, nothing could prevent us. Look at us today.
חזרנו באותו דרך מה שיצאנו כשהאל שדי גירש אותנו בין שנתיים וחצי היינו בליבריה. למדנו איך להיות בחוץ תחת השמיים ודברים כאלה, לנקות את גופנו, לנקות את שכלנו ולחזור להרוח האמיתי. מסענו את הדברים שם בליבריה. אני חשבתי שבישראל, בירושלים, אפילו במיוחד בירושלים, שהיה רק דברים קדושים. אבל כשאני התחלתי ללמד ומצאתי שזה לא ככה, וכשאני הגעתי לפה, אז זה היה כמו שהפתעה גדולה.
Bring us up to a description of the camp in Liberia, but before you go there, tell us about the leaving itself and the Exodus. Where were you at the Exodus point? Where were you at? Tell us how that felt and looked to you, getting ready to leave the United States of America, and then tell us about how the camp that you set up in Liberia looked and felt.
Okay. We'll go back to the beginning of my coming into knowledge. Like Nasir Akamim said, that I came in through him. And when he told me about it, I said, Lord, have mercy, my brother done gone damn crazy. He done gone nuts, Anyway, just the way he was saying it. But Nasir Akamim was one that was always in the churches everywhere. He was always searching for something, singing groups, quartets, and this, that, and the other. And me and him was always in arguments. So, for me to refuse what he was saying, was nothing.
But anyway, Say it wasn't nothing new.
So anyway, he was a Kennedy man one time when Kennedy was producing the walk, the health and everything.
Right.
Everything was Kennedy. Kennedy's picture was all over everywhere. And then it went from that, to the Muslim. I went in, everything Nasir Akamim went into, he had to drag me into. We've been together all our lives, which has been quite a while. But I think it was a brother that came to the Beamer. I wasn't there at this particular class, but it was brought up about the Constitution of Liberia. And it was decided then that that's where we had to go. A few weeks later, 3 brothers were on a plane on the way to Liberia, making preparation.
What 3 brothers, son?
Benjamin, Rabi, Nasir Gabriel Gadol, and a brother named Yaakov.
So we was in Houston, and he said, I'm going to see this woman. I was hoping she would know better because Rabi finna get us hung in Texas. So he called on the phone. He said, I'm on my way up there. So we was driving on the highway, and that's the time them police had just killed them Muslims. We were driving on the highway, so I seen the state patrol come down the other side. And I looked at the speed limit, and I was down the speed limit. And next thing I know, it was 7 squad cars, state patrol cars, pulled up, just come from, I don't know where they came. They pulled us over and told us, get out. And we jumped out, we laid down. Them big tall Texans. They had them big 357 Magnum, and and we were laying down right underneath a resort center. Where they swimming pool and all that. But they couldn't see us because we were down. They had to kind of up. We were laying down there, and they were talking, and so it seemed like this took forever. They were asking what our name was, and we were trying to tell our name. So Robbie finally said, you know Sheriff Carter? He said, yeah. Robbie said, get on that phone and you call them and tell them we'll be there in 15 minutes.
To me, this is what 2 Kings 17:24 means, knowing the God of the land. We went over in the rainy season. Now, if we had a new better, we wouldn't have went over in the rainy season. We'd have waited and went over in the dry season. But we were caught up in the spirit and movement, but Mr. Flemister was there. He was the God to protect us. He let us use his land, because if it hadn't been for him, South Sky was there, I don't know what we would have did. And until the rain subsided, you know, he let us sit our tents up right on his front lawn.
Sure.
You know, and then that was our protector, and he helped us all the way through, all the time we was there. There was a Mr. Flemister, a Miss Margaret. What was the other one's name? Nancy Gabriel, Miss Margaret, Mr. Flemister, and all those other people who were ex-Garveyite, who are old-time Garveyite. But they were there like a protector for us more than a baton passer.
You speaking about the seriousness about leaving out of Babylon at that time, and you didn't really need to know that there was always something pulling. It was really the Spirit of God pulling us back home, because the time had expired for us to stay in Babylon. 400 years had gone past. So myself, I didn't know which way to go. All my life, since I was a little bitty tot, searching for the true and living God, the Spirit that would connect me up with my past, with my present, and to be a future servant for him. So, in my distress, being in Chicago, coming up from Mississippi was one thing, but then being in Chicago, it was just a terrible place for me. And although it was a big city, big old dirty city, I didn't like it. And I didn't know how to get out. I felt trapped. I saw my grandfather on his way out, you know, fast. Then I looked around, 1953, then my father passed. So then I used to go out, you know, trying to imitate this little white picture of Jesus on the wall with his hand, certain kind of way. I would go out at night, back there in the back alley, where they used to dump the coal. You know, they'd be done burn the coal, come out the stokers and whatnot, they dump it out there. I go out by myself and just get out on my knees and pray, you know, and imitating the white Jesus business. Because I want to find a way out. So I'm just saying with seriousness, but just stay on the path. Just stay on the path. This is it. In color.
No, they gonna take it.
So this is everybody who traveling?
We going.
Where y'all going?
We going.
Where are y'all going?
We're going to Ghana, Liberia,
Africa.
Wow, y'all look great. Y'all look sleepy though.
No, I'm not highly sleepy. I'm ready to go.
Hey.
Make your diet. We're representing the whole kingdom.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Have a wonderful time, pioneers. And
Hold on.
Be safe, enjoy.
Be safe.
Hey, Bocato.
Okay, on.
I did it already.
Okay, say hey.
Hey. So where y'all going?
We're going to Ghana.
To Ghana? Cape Coast, Ghana?
Liberia.
Liberia? Wow. Y'all look great.
Raise the ark.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
made it safe and sound to the airport thanks to the Omaniel. Hallelujah. Now we're about to fly in the air. Head straight to Ghana. How you feel, Doe?
Feel great.
Hallelujah. We made it to the airport, Terminal 3. We're there. Wow, so here are the pioneers. The pioneers, y'all got everything.
But we brought the things that we knew we needed.
Food,
And I made it on.
rice cakes.
Yeah, I made it on.
You got the pioneer and the lamb pioneer.
The devil was trying to get through, but he didn't.
That's right.
Yah is great.
Hallelujah. We have another pioneer right here. How you feel, Shamari?
I'm excellent. I'm excellent.
You ready to get on that plane and shoot out of here?
Absolutely.
Hallelujah.
Hey, y'all smile. Y'all got to always be looking happy.
We got a pioneer in the house.
Yeah.
How you feel,
We are
Dr.
the
Sean?
pioneers. Hey,
So how you
we're
feel?
on our way to Liberia after 50 years.
50 years, Stutter? 50 whole years?
Yes, indeed.
Wow, so how do you feel right now?
Hey, Mitsuyan, I'm flying in heaven. Now I know how heaven feels. I was going back to Liberia. It's like you done been, elevated, and now you can just go back and look at it. So it feels great.
You going back with your son? Going back with your son?
Yes, that's his band master.
That's your own.
Yes, say hi, master. Tell him hi. Tell him you're going back to Liberia. Tell him you left Liberia when you was how old? 9 years old. You was just a little boy. But you remember Liberia, right? Oh, sure, yeah.
I'm about to go to tear up the world. Where you going, Ben Halalia?
Going to Ghana and Liberia.
Oh.
Experience to unforgettable experience. Pioneers beginning this holy great kingdom. Honor and a privilege to be here. Being filmed by a pioneer. Yeah, right. Go to our co-carver. So how do you feel about being a part of this great journey?
Great.
So where are you flying to?
Ghana, from Ghana to Liberia.
Wow. Have you been to Liberia before?
Oh, this is my first time.
Wow.
So excited.
What about Ghana?
1,000 times.
Wow.
Hey, come on. Everybody move. Hey, we made it through. Ha, 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 ha.
I got enough to share. Y'all can get 8 crackers. I have. They can share. I have.
Pioneer.
We're on our way. First leg. Hallelujah.
Look how about that up. Got you. I got you. I said healer.
At it again, huh?
Yeah, I stay at it.
Second leg.
I stay at it.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Hallelujah. Brussels, huh? Go to our roots. Back to Liberia.
I'm laying down there sleeping, Shamar filmed me. I said, boy, you crazy. Where's Shamar and Aunt
They right there and back here.
Yeah, okay. You gotta keep up with everybody now.
I got a whole family right here. Yeah.
Yes, she Man, I cannot lie. Say that'd be the crew.
Take approximately 6 hours and 30 minutes. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight. Thank you.
What's that? And it's all good. Yeah, it's
Welcome to Ghana, my friend.
Shalom.
Yeah, the guy told me, he said, I thought you were Ghanaian. Where's your passport? Where's your real passport? Pardon me. I'm supposed to be giving you the civil rights package.
in Liberia. That's what the collector I ain't have no more.
Across your forehead.
Okay. You say who?
What was that brother that brought us over here? What was his name? Benjamin? No, the brother that brought us over here.
Ima Tahila, Brukaba, welcome to Ghana, Akwaba.
Nope, surely ain't.
Ghana.
Yeah, that's
Thank
right.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I was so, oh my God.
Yep, that's
Hey.
You got a pioneer right here. Got a pioneer. So how you feel, Dr. Sean?
Great, Africa. We back.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
Asipora. How you feel, Asipora?
I'm always excellent.
We're elevated. Mesh, how you feel? Fix that key pop, please. I mean it.
I want this ratio. They don't know nothing about it.
This starts our holy journey, our sacred journey. And as with all journeys, some are challenging, so we understand the challenges, that we've had, but we're not going to let that stop us. We're not going to let that deter us from our mission. Nakon Kasidim? Hallelujah. So we are all tomorrow going to be here, and we're flying to Liberia. For those who are leaving tomorrow, you know who you are. Please be here on time. Okay, for those who are on the 9 o'clock flight, please be here no later than 7 o'clock. Okay, for those who are on the 7 o'clock flight, we have to be here at 5:30. Okay, and that time in the morning, traffic is pretty low. Okay, so we shouldn't have a problem. All right, safe trips. Welcome to Ghana. We'll see y'all soon.
Imatahila in the house.
Hotel.
That's right. You done made it to the hotel. Welcome to Ghana.
And now since you have big business.
Big business.
John.
She left her passport.
I don't know what that is.
So how do y'all feel?
Wonderful.
Off to Liberia this morning.
Don't get too close on my.
Off to Liberia.
This is Belton, right?
Terrell?
Hey.
So how y'all feel about to go to Liberia right now?
Ready.
Experience the world.
Yes. Our world. There he is.
So how was y'all first night in the Mighty Gift Hotel?
Great. It was a gift. It was a
Hotel was
treasure.
a mighty gift. Yes, we appreciate the mighty gift.
All right. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Going to Liberia. And we'll be there. Huh? Oh, it was long, but it was good. So much fun! It was long, but it was good. Oh! Long. So much fun! You gotta get that.
Safta, you having fun, Safta?
So we all finished.
We're having a ball!
Where are you going now?
We're going to Huron.
With the third, fourth, fifth leg out.
Early.
Liberia. Liberia bound.
So
We're bound to the airport.
You got information. I'm trying to figure this camera thing and the
Hey.
then Halaliela's filming us every 2 seconds.
We on cooking.
Not giving us
We're in a
food stuff, you know. So everything there's good.
You can close it. You can close it.
Let's have the stove, you know, yeah.
Zipper in the other bag. That's going on the plane? No, that's not going. How much are they?
You got time to get it?
Front plantation.
Ass ain't. Little variety.
5 CDs. 5 CDs. Did we give him the money?
Y'all gave
Oh, he got the money.
Gotta pass it up.
He ain't gonna walk off without it.
The blue one. The blue one is fine.
This one?
The red one is the one.
Oh, you got this? I have a 10 and a 10. No, you can't open it. No, I just want to look at them.
She wants some chips, Tara. Get her some chips.
Look at them. Close your eyes. I don't know if I like them.
She hungry.
You won't know that too. You don't know on the plane. So that means you can't be Queen Beyonce and get on the plane in front of us no more, like you've been doing. I need to because I don't want to cry. Yeah, well, you got a point. You got a point. Right. Somewhere down that Spintex Road is where we're going to be living when we come back.
I had I'm so glad I didn't like it. Five lasagnas. I had some five lasagnas.
No!
You still had to lose it.
I just got to it before you did. You have one down there.
I'm coming to die. This is called English desperation. We jonesing up on some ways. On your own issue.
That must be
You ain't scared that I can root to? It's cold.
Yeah, it's so cold. Hey, look. Hey, he's like, hey, this
Oh, that's the little airplane we're getting on.
Yep, this is it. So small.
That's the one we getting on. That's taking us all the way to Liberia. Liberia.
Mesdames et messieurs, pour des raisons de sûreté, nous vous prions de bien vouloir présenter votre carte d'embarquement au personnel de cabine à la sortie de l'avion. Nous vous remercions de votre coopération. Ladies and gentlemen, for security reasons, we are requesting to present your boarding pass to the commander when leaving the aircraft. Thank you for your cooperation.
Hallelujah. I need some fruit.
Shmar, how you feel being back in Liberia?
After 50 years. I've been born there.
That's great. You excited, Shamaria?
Very.
You don't look excited, Shamaria. Are you tired? You hungry?
Nope.
Oh, he hungry.
You hungry, Shamaria?
Sorry, don't miss a meal.
Did you get that cruise to this town, Shamaria?
He's hungry.
Oh, made it on back. Shamaria. How you feel, Shamaria? Back in Liberia.
This is Maria's first.
Wow.
This is Maria's first time. This is Maria's first
11 months.
time.
4th December.
Ain't never been.
PNC avec Thomas.
We made it back, y'all. We made it back. We made it.
Amen.
What made you and your friend, your best friend, Apagado, and other members of your of the Hebrew Israelite community
50 years ago come to Liberia? Why Liberia?
Well, Liberia was the only state that had been developed for and on behalf of ex-slaves. So it was like a divine movement that Yah had created to prepare for those that would be one day prepared to turn around to Him and to come back under His grace. But before we can come back, the prophet said you got to go back by the way you came. And so we knew it came from West Africa. We didn't know where, so we began looking for a country. And the only country that was available to us directly was Liberia. And so therefore, the Messianic personage, his master, our spiritual leader, his father, Ben-Amin. God given him that revelation and that vision, and that's where it led us to, Liberia.
One lucky winner will walk away with 1 million. Yeah, and who knows, Mountain could be you. Yeah. It could be you walking away with $1 million, and the Lord says that they want you to go buy the store. Yeah, I love that. Go back in the store. And Mountain, there are 2 people in the store that we can enjoy talking with. California.
Yeah. A few minutes ago we was on the phone, now we're with each other.
Yeah, hand in hand. Yeah, okay.
You paid him?
I can't.
Y'all home now.
You all want some mine or something? Go see and then come back. Oh, okay. Okay, come on. I come go with us.
I'm coming.
Come on. You coming?
You're back home, I tried to hear.
I'm back home.
Yeah, but I believe it's working already. If not, hallelujah for Shamaria and the bathroom. As I said before, the barrel is there, and the water, for the use of the toilet, washing hands, taking baths. And this is another master bedroom.
Wow. Now this is a regular size bed, king. I mean regular double.
You want to call it regular.
Regular double. That one is the king right there.
Now this is the bathroom. This is the extra bed. I've never seen it before. It's quite interesting. When I saw that, God was so angry. They put the other one right when they came here. They put them there. That's why people don't want black folks to do nothing for them. And then they got this little area there. You can hang clothes. See the little bar? You can hang your clothes.
Okay, so it's like a closet.
It's a closet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, so this is our little heaven.
It's a big heaven.
Yeah, 3 bedrooms.
Wow.
Yeah, that one's really nice.
This is how we work this job in Liberia.
That's how you work in Liberia.
Okay, this is the way I work in Liberia.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
my Tahiti. So how you feeling right now? You're back home.
You know I can't hear.
So how you feeling right now?
Great. Hallelujah.
How did you feel when you first landed back in Liberia after 50 years? How did you feel when you first landed in Liberia after 50 years?
50 years ago?
No, today when you first landed.
Today. It was like amazing. Really amazing. I never thought I would ever return here.
Wow.
So that's what's amazing about it. I'm here.
So what are your plans today and rest of your duration while you're here?
While I'm here?
Yeah, what you plan on doing?
My biggest plan is to see the camp where Shmario was born. That's what I really want to see.
Wow.
The camp that we stayed in for 2.5 years. And that's really, all of us got to know each other. We banded together and left here together. So.
Wow. So tell me a story or two of your, tell me 1 or 2 stories, a short story from your time when you were here 50 years ago. What do you remember 50 years ago?
A short story?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, when Shmari was born, it was a real story. They called in somebody from here, that person fainted.
Wow.
So the sisterhood had to jump in and help with the delivery of Shmari. Because, and they knew absolutely nothing about delivering babies, but they did it.
Wow.
Thanks to y'all. I can't think of another one right now.
Okay. Enjoy your stay. So what made you come back to Liberia after 50 years?
You know, myself and the other pioneers had thought that it would be the thing to do and commemorative to come back and greet one, I have to say one, the family of President Tubman, and to give reverence also to the president of this country, the Honorable Honorable Allen Johnson Sirleaf, that's her name. Give reverence to her for having such a wonderful country, and also to, because of the great love that the Liberian people had for us to make it possible for us and allowed us to come here. And we wanted to give, we wanted to create some kind of a memorial for President Tubman and for the paramount chief that we lived in his village for 2.5 years in Gaye Batala.
Yokai, 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 Enemy Kai, Billy Benu, Hallelujah,
Hallelujah. 50 years, 50 years. Y'all look great.
Great.
Yeah, we good. I got the picture.
Beautiful. This is a beautiful bunch of Hebrews.
Where's Michelle?
One thing we know they tough.
We got the general idea as we got here.
I get it.
Tough to last this long.
Yeah.
You hear me?
I got it. Hold on. Atra, how you feel, Atra?
I feel great, especially since the reinforcement is here.
They have worked.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
They done worked in particular.
Oh, no.
Oh, well, I done worked it to no end.
Would you do that?
I mean, we done worked all this. So I'm so glad you all are here. About such a wonderful feeling to do the saints again. You know how hard, so many dramatic kind of things happen. First of all, they had to we had our
Ceremony.
our venue at the university. Then the rerun. What did it fall on? The same day.
Same day.
Wow.
That we were going to have our
Dedication. Right.
our memorial. And so we trying to fluctuate this. So I don't have our itinerary. Just got all messed up. So, but as y'all would have it, come on over here, Gabrielle. Now here's the dynamo. What's that young man there? The dynamo. We put so much together with nothing.
Wow.
With nothing, I promise you. With the little money that I brought, but this gentleman here, we sucked every goose out of him, every ounce of energy out of him. I mean, we worked him to no end. I mean, this here's a real Hebrew diplomat. This is a diplomat here, unlike any other diplomat. He works without money. They sent him to a place that nobody wanted. Now it's paradise. He's like that. He makes stuff out of nothing.
Yes.
And so along with him, Uziel, I mean, we done drained him, you know, we took everything he got. And so we done took everything from everybody.
Eliot Seed, we just
Eliot Seed, we ate him and his wife and our little sister over there. Man, we done worked everybody. You're gonna love the sainthood here.
Come on, get in picture.
Yeah.
Come on.
Taking pictures of
You're gonna love the sainthood. You're gonna love the sainthood. Yeah, I mean they're extraordinary, strong, and we had the opportunity yesterday to go up to the camp.
Wow.
I ain't gonna tell you nothing.
Okay,
This is
when are we
big
going?
Yom Sheni. No, Yom
Sheni.
Sheni. This is big business.
Wow.
Yes.
When you all see what's going on up there, if you don't be inspired, it's because there's something wrong with you.
You got a hole in it, so.
I promise you. Them young men cut so much wood out of there and so many trees out to get us up in there.
Wow.
And we got a I ain't gonna tell you.
Go ahead now, see, tell us, spill it. Spill it now, see, spill it.
I ain't gonna
spill it for us. Give us a taste. Just spill it a little bit.
We were building the largest library in West Africa.
Okay.
You understand? We built it walls all around. You understand?
Wow.
Them walls are as strong as ever. Right now, you won't believe the strength of them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to finish it. That library there. It might be something else. I don't know. But you know how they do with monumental kind of things in Israel? They paint a black line on the original, and then they go on above. You understand? Then they, I mean, we're going to lay it out. We're going to lay this out. But you all are going to love what you see. They love the town people and all of them. I mean, the chief. So much interesting. Then you're going to go on to Cuttington College. You're going to pass by Phoebe Hospital, where some of our babies were born. And then you're going to go on from there, you're going to go to Benjamin's place, Galai, where we got another 150 acres of land. There's rice on it. And growing rice right now.
Can we cook some today for dinner?
I ate some yesterday. In fact, I'm so full of rice, I just want to, I think that's one of the
You in rice 7.
I'm a rice man. I done turned to rice.
A righteous rice man.
This Gabrielle here?
This is Gabrielle we've been hearing
This is my man, my son. Great man. This boy here, he is a superman. I mean, he knows how to make stuff happen. And we want to thank God for him. Yeah, we want to thank God for him. Manuel.
Gregor, call me.
Wait a minute. We got to call this brother. Manuel, come here.
Come here, Manuel.
This guy here, he's a Dynamo Plus. This boy, he don't sleep at night. He work all the time. He never I never got a driver's license, never learned how to drive, but drive.
Yeah. He do it all.
He fixed the car. He fixed it. He know how to fix anything.
Right.
And I mean, the boy don't never say nothing but smile. But not only that, he knows stuff out on the street too. This boy here,
around.
everybody gets away from this guy.
He's awesome. You ought to see. You see him.
Okay. But this brother here, woo! And then they got
but you got to tell me what all he did.
Everything. and we had this house. Go on, Gabriel.
Come on, Gabriel.
Oh, Tikia. Tikia and then
Tikia.
To come and do photos.
This is Tikia. Get over here so they can.
Come on out here. Come on over here. Okay, this is Tikia.
Where's the Naviella?
Come on, Naviella. This one here?
Oh, now that one.
These sisters?
Powerhouse.
These are power. This is this is Moshe's wife. We don't have a generator. We don't have nothing. We done put everything together. And so the day she says, "You don't have a generator?" No, we got one. So now we got a generator. Hallelujah. You understand? I mean, and she can do anything too.
Right. She is so
Got a
creative.
beautiful husband who's been around. You probably remember Moshe. Yeah. You know, Moshe. You know her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moshe's been around. How long you been around, baby?
85. He was here when I was here.
Wow.
In 85.
1985. She got married at 16.
She still looks 16. Right. She does. She does. They got four children.
Is she 18 today or 17?
Beautiful,
I just 4 years.
Wow.
3 vegetarian.
Wow.
3 years in vegetarian.
Ellie, I see, he disappeared off the scene. We had him in Ghana, you know, so he sneaked out of Ghana.
Snuck out.
2 or 3 years, we ain't heard nothing. This is who we met. He didn't call me for 3 years.
He was busy.
Yeah,
he was a newlywed.
He was busy. But anyway, hallelujah. This is the crew. And we got so many more.
So many more. So many more.
Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yokai. 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 Benamika.
Benamai.
Requayam.
Requayam.
Bilibelu.
Bilibelu.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right. You're all most welcome. Thank you. You can get oil out of this, but they don't know if it's edible.
It is edible or it isn't?
I don't know this, but you can. If you get oil of it, I'm sure you can use it for soap, for something. Yeah.
What is it called?
This is just, I don't know the name of this. It's just some seeds that I picked. But this is what you call the lion cola.
Lion cola.
This is the lion cola.
You get oil from it?
No, you just chew it. You just eat it.
What's it
don't
good?
die and it don't rot. That's the whole important thing about it. Don't die and don't rat.
Does it dry out?
Yeah, it can dry, but it don't rat and it don't die. For me, when I'm ready, in the morning like this. I will wake up and eat 3.
3? Okay.
I'll eat 3 of this, then I will eat 1 or 2 of the regular cola.
What's the regular one?
The regular one is, they want selling cola?
No.
Huh?
No.
I'm looking for regular cola. Cola nuts.
Cola be on the road.
Go buy cola. You got money?
No.
How that meant to give you? Chew this.
Chew it?
Yeah.
Tastes good. That's the one you just peeled, right?
Yeah.
It's bitter.
And this is it too. Put it here so people in the morning we just drink the water from it. And this, you heard about baboon? The baboon, it's a big monkey. This is called the baboon scrotum.
Wow.
Yeah. It's good, it's full of quinine.
It's full of what?
Quinine.
Quinine, what is that?
Quinine is good for malaria.
Wow.
And it's also good for potency. So what the African, how it is?
Bitter.
Go bring regular cola. These are all manpower.
Manpower? Wow. Shoot, it's bitter.
Go bring a glass. Gabriel Manpower House. Manpower House. This is the lion quarter. Make sure you emphasize on it. Don't rat and don't die. All the saints need to eat this.
Wow.
It's a piece of it. This is all what we are eating now.
It's the bitterness, right?
No, it's the properties in it. You have garlic, you have onion, you have ginger, you have cinnamon, all.
Wow, this jab is better.
This one being, and this one too is hard to rat. We use almost all of it.
Wow.
I want to make some cocktail for you.
Cocktail, huh?
All these things that they can't spoil.
Wow.
Yeah. They got their own inbuilt preservatives.
Wow.
Yeah. No spoiling.
It's bitter?
Yeah, so you can try that. This one.
It's kind of strong.
Yeah. Slowly, huh? You can put it on small, drink it small, but it's very good. Cholesterol, fat, blood sugar, it will clean it up. But this is the kind of drink in the evening, the same way the Chinese can have their tea. This is our tea.
True.
See? Yeah.
African tea.
African tea. This is our tea. To give us our power and make us think and
erase all of the age and aging things. It's anti-aging things.
You didn't ask Emmanuel?
But I want you didn't tell me to come, but I want them to bring Mrs. bags back, to bring our bags back. It'll be big and it'll be enough, right?
Now see, when you get your back.
What you said, Miss?
She don't hear good, 'cause I told her when she told me about that.
What did you say?
She don't hear it.
They sure hear well. We talked about this already.
She got a serious ear lobe.
That's why she was going to be grabbing around.
He said bags, the bags. Now see him put meshes bags over the door.
That's bad.
Meshes.
Just like then Class put that bag over there.
He did.
And you heard what I
That's right here.
Y'all going on a bike?
I said, I'm going on a bike.
Him and Boaz are going on bikes. They talking about transportation, so.
So I think
I said I can bring for the taxi.
Either that, but just tell Nasik to talk
No way,
loud.
Jose.
So we can hear it from here.
Yeah.
Tell
So
Nasik to talk loud.
The saints that's coming from all over here, they don't know that we're going to be here.
just say.
So we have to go. We have to go. So we can meet. They're going to come right here.
But how are we going to
We
do
got
that?
some buses and some donkeys. Come out and motorbikes.
They go
Right on.
And it ain't coming down hard. It doesn't sound like it.